would throw hands, but did scream like a little bitch. So
Do you want to catch these hands?
You're about to catch these hands, Katie. Come back to California. Come back.
I'm coming on Saturday, baby.
Guys, let's celebrate. We finally live together, and I want to make it Insta official.
My lovely, beautiful, bold ladies, I cannot believe we are entering the 5th and final season of The Bold Type. You guys had quite a big break in between season 4 and season 5 because of this like little thing called a global pandemic. Were you able to have any influence on where you wanted your characters to end up at the end of the final season? Katie, kick us off.
I mean, I think we definitely have to find out we got picked up and it was going to be the last season. Our showrunner, Wendy Stryker-Hauser, was, really lovely. But when it was like, okay to travel, we had a socially distanced lunch outside and we kind of talked about where, she felt that Jane went, where I felt that Jane went. And I feel like Jane's storyline, and especially where she ends up, was such a collaborative experience in terms of ideas that I had and ideas that they had, and kind of melding the two together to come up with her ending. So it felt like the right way to end the show, since it's been a pretty collaborative experience from the beginning. So to end it that way felt right.
I think we owe it to this generation of women to make them feel heard.
Well, I think we were in a really tricky spot because we lost 2 episodes at the end of season 4 because of COVID. So, and then we got picked up for season 5. We only had 6 to wrap it all up. So the writers had a really, really hard job, harder than normal, which is already pretty hard, to kind of figure out a way to get everybody to a place that felt really good in that amount of time, based on where we had left off was pretty specific. So, but I always felt very clear about what I saw for Sutton and what I wanted for her. And we ultimately did get to a place where I think everybody felt pretty happy with where she ends up. And I really can't say anything more than that because it's like, so I'll give it away in 2 seconds if I even say, I'm so happy with how it ended, so I'm not even going to say that.
Aren't you mad? If they're only helping a certain type of woman, what's the point?
Aisha, it was absolutely incredible seeing your call to action on Instagram last summer and seeing you kind of point out the lack of diversity both on screen and behind the camera, how you were really feeling about Kat's storyline in season 4 and the choices that the writers were having her make. Do you feel like since your call to action and since you guys have come back for the 5th and final season, was there meaningful change since you put that out there?
I think it's really hard, and I can feel, it's been complicated for me to kind of come back and speak about it. I think I naively thought just write this letter. This was originally an internal letter. I'll write this letter and I'll never have to talk about it again. It's not reality, but it was something that was on my heart that I felt like I just really needed to share. It was almost like a knee-jerk reaction. I just was like, I can't keep this inside anymore. And as scary as it was, and as much as my hands were sweating before every conference call about it, I was terrified. I'm really glad, even though I'm sure there's some people out there who may be upset. We have to have these messy conversations because I think they lead to other conversations, and they lead to a new, more nuanced conversation, and then eventually we can get change. But, things don't change with an Instagram post and a phone call. It just doesn't work that way. But I think it's really beautiful to see how both the studio and the network were really willing to kind of have the conversations and how supportive they were of the fact that I really wanted to share it, not just with them, but also with the fans. It's been such a safe space, specifically for queer women of color. The fans of the show are really important to me, and I just wanted them to know that I saw them.
Nobody knows their characters better than all 3 of you ladies. You guys bring them to life and you have spent so much time in their shoes. I'm curious to know if there are any other storylines looking back on it that you almost were like, I wish we could have handled that a little bit differently.
Well, I know I sound like a broken record, but I've been waiting for one of the girls to get their periods, and it's been 5 seasons. I know, Freeform people are listening, stop talking about periods. But I really think it's an important issue. I think it's this taboo topic, and it's a biological function that doesn't just affect...
Taboo?
Yes.
Ooh.
I've never heard you say taboo. Oh my God, I love that.
Why is that so funny? Taboo. Well, I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, my point is, it's a topic that we don't talk about enough, and it's of all genders, and it actually keeps women in developing countries from achieving all of the things that they should really be able to achieve. We have to talk about people who suffer from homelessness, and we need to be providing like sanitary. Like, I am so passionate about period.
Well, wait, okay. I wish that the Jane and Pinstripe storyline had been different. Like, I didn't like that it was just like, oh, he just cheated on her worse than we thought, because it just didn't feel something authentic to his character or the way that Dan played him. Like, I wish that, like, if they needed to break up, that maybe the break would have been like, we're at Sutton and Richard's wedding and he doesn't ever want to get married and he leaves Jane for Sutton. No.
I was always pitching that.
Wait, okay, but then Jane gets Richard, so.
Nah.
Both. You can't have both.
Sorry, it's my story. Well, the one with Richard was really tricky. So I think that's probably the only one where I think like, and I'm still really proud of that story and the way that we chose to tell it and everything. And like I said, we got even deeper into that in season 5.
I wish that I could just move on with my life, but getting over Richard is going to be a process.
I was shocked when they first told me that in the span of 5 episodes, I was getting married, having a miscarriage, and then getting a divorce. Like, I sort of thought we were going to live in the happily ever after for a little bit longer, but it's TV, baby. People like drama.
Apparently, people on Instagram really love watching Katie Stevens prank Meghann Fahy.
Oh, you know who else loves it? Nobody. It ruined my life.
Katie, what inspired this? And did you ever feel bad about the torture you were putting her through? Like, take me into your head.
Never felt bad about it. Still don't. Listen, I got her in on the fun. There is a video of us hiding in the dark. Me and Meg hiding in the dark. And Aisha walks into her own front door in her apartment and we like pop out of nowhere and she screams. And I think that Meghann got a taste for just like how fun and funny it is. Like, I know I'm cruel. I know that it's like terrible to scare people, but like they're good sports about it. Like, I wouldn't scare somebody, like I would be too scared to scare Melora. And I was too scared to scare Aisha for a little while, but then I had to
throw hands.
I had to, you say you would throw hands, but you did scream like a little bitch, so.
Do you want to catch these hands?
You're about to catch these hands, Katie. Come back to California. Come back.
I'm coming on Saturday, baby.
Get out. Get her out of here right now.
I'm sorry, I can stop.
You will stop.
That was an empty promise.
Never. Give me again.
Rude. If you could describe your character's journey in these last 6 episodes in like one word or a few words, what would you say?
What? That's mine.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That's a good one.
I think mine would be.
Mine would be, okay.
It doesn't sound like it's gonna be that good. No, what we should tell them though, make sure they know that it's gonna be a great time. And it's definitely worth tuning in for, in spite of the very lukewarm review that we all just gave it.
Well, it's because I'm like trying not, like if I pick words, I'm gonna give it away. I will say that 6 episodes is very hard.
Yeah.
Wrap up 5 seasons in 6 episodes. I think that the writers did a great job of, you know, tying up loose ends and also kind of giving some openness at the end to allow fans to kind of come up with their own conclusions of what could happen afterwards. But I feel like we all are pretty happy with where our characters end up.
To Scarlet.
To Scarlet.